Hey everyone, and welcome to Reviews at Ryan. So continuing SlasherRipper, we have episode number 4. We're now halfway through the season. This episode will be premiering on April 20th, and this will be a spoiler-free review, but I will present some details that happen in this, but I will not put out main spoilers in this review. So the episode, it's 43 minutes, and it starts off with Basil and all his friends at a dinner table, and they're eating these meat pies. And I love the atmosphere on how they start this off. And I also love that it isn't just an episode where it rehashes the murder from the previous episode, because a lot of them kind of start off with that, and they don't in this one. And they go right to this dinner. And I really like how the widow, again, is messing with all these people. Again, putting out a riddle for all these people and really messing with them. And I think this scene, out of all the scenes that have been in this season so far, I think this scene made me the most uncomfortable. Mainly because of what is going down in this scene. I won't spoil it, but certain things that happen in this scene, it kind of made me just gag a little bit. Just the certain part that happens in this scene. I love that the characters in this, they're getting more and more on edge, and more people are starting to accuse people of who the killer is. We do learn that the widow is left-handed, which is very interesting, because I don't know if that's something where it's trying to throw the audience off, or if the killer is actually legitly left-handed, or if the killer just really isn't left-handed, but I guess maybe could be switch-handed possibly. So I thought that was an interesting point that's brought up. We also have the sisters in this episode. They are doing portraits, and you can really tell that this little sister that's involved, they don't seem to really like her. They definitely have, I would say, ganged up on her, I would say. We also get more scenes of 12 years ago of what the whole story with Margaret entails. And one character, a main character, we get to hear a little bit more of his story and his involvement, especially with Margaret. And it definitely is very interesting, I would say. I think that this character, Margaret, we really are learning more and more about her. And it definitely has made me really question what else happened during those 12 years ago. And I think they're doing a really good job of actually revealing piece by piece, episode by episode. And this episode, it actually can get pretty gruesome, especially with one of the characters and what they do, and one of the actual suspects that they believe is the killer. And we learn a little bit more about this suspect as well, and what his alibi was, and things that he doesn't want to reveal. The final scene was very brutal, and I definitely was like, yep, this person definitely deserved what they got. And that's very apparent because certain flashbacks and certain clues as to what happened 12 years ago really puts it in perspective of this person and how they are as an individual. And this particular individual throughout the episode, you can really tell that this person is not a good person. And realistically, I think this person that's been involved throughout the episodes, especially from last episode up till now, I kind of always thought they were a jerk anyway. So I really didn't have sympathy for that said character. But I thought that this particular character that's involved in this final scene, it was very interesting back 12 years ago what proposition was actually made. But this character also, I felt, is a straight up creep. But you can also tell that this person, obviously they're rich and they're in a prime position. So you can really see that the rich in this episode, they really get the benefit of the doubt with a lot of things, and they do a lot of things behind the back, and they get away with things that they should be prosecuted for, or they shouldn't be doing. They shouldn't be treating certain people and certain individuals like they do. But unfortunately, because they're at a higher standard or at a higher position, they don't get that kind of treatment. So those are my thoughts on this episode. I thought this episode was really good. I really liked the third episode, but I think this fourth episode is putting more things in perspective, and I'm very interested to see what will happen in the last 4 episodes. But let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this episode? How does it compare to other episodes so far? Do you feel like this season is going pretty good so far now that we're halfway through? But thank you guys for listening to this audio review, and I will be back on episode 5.